Leicestershire and Gloucestershire battled hard against each other on the opening day of the LV County Championship match at Grace Road, with neither side able to grab the game by the scruff of its neck at this early stage, although Will Gidman briefly moved to the top of the wicket-taking charts with another fifer. Ramnaresh Sarwan won the toss and decided to have a bat, but he lost his opener Greg Smith to the very first ball of the game, bowled by an immediate beauty from the younger Gidman. Smith has now recorded 2 ducks and a single in his last 3 innings, and he's been part of a team which has suddenly really struggled with the bat in the last couple of weeks. So Leicestershire needed an early response from Ned Eckersley and Angus Robson. They both began their innings in an encouraging style with some lovely strokes against a Gloucestershire attack, which is still missing a number of its main strike bowlers through injury. Left armour Matt Taylor and Liam Norwell were a little expensive at times, and that saw the home side get off to one of their better starts of late. Robson in particular was moving through the numbers with ease as this pair added 81 runs for the second wicket in 20 overs, Robson making it to 46 off just 55 deliveries. But his 55th was his last one. He had a little nudge at a ball from Norwell which was held in the slips by Alex Gidman. Norwell should have soon followed that up with the wicket of Sarwan. The bowler himself couldn't cling on to a good opportunity. It wasn't at all costly, however, as Sarwan was then given out LBW to Benny Howell after contributing only 2 runs to the total. Leicestershire reached the lunch break on 93 for 3 with nothing really to choose between the two teams, and that remained the case throughout the afternoon. Josh Cobb and Eckersley took the score into 3 figures, but then both men were out in the space of 6 overs. With the score on 116, Eckersley, with 46 runs to his name, was trapped in front by Will Gidman, who now took his tally of victims in the championship this year to 27. Norwell, from wide of the crease, then got one through Cobb to clip the top of his leg stump on 26, and now it was the visitors who had the edge, reducing their opponents to 127 for 5. In their last couple of matches, the home side might have crumbled from there, but not on this occasion, as Rob Taylor and Niall O'Brien led the latest fight back. It was that kind of day throughout, with wickets falling in a cluster only for a partnership to then be developed. This one was an important one for the home side, who were able to almost get through to tea with no further losses. These two left-handers carried their partnership to 62 and the total to 189 to balance this contest back up. But just before tea, the ever-consistent Gidman struck for a 3rd time, Taylor deflecting the ball back onto his stumps via the inside edge after making 31. The break came with the Foxes on 191 for 6, and they now relied on O'Brien to try to make as many runs as he could with the lower order. The former Northamptonshire keeper has made a couple of good scores this season after mostly struggling for ones last year, when his best effort was 67 in 23 championship innings. He's already blasted 133 in one knock this year, and this shot took him to his 2nd half-century of the campaign. This one had taken him 118 balls to reach, from which he'd found the boundary 9 times. He was dominating an important 7th wicket stand, which was eventually ended after it had realised 38 runs. So, with the score on 227, Gidman again produced the ideal delivery to bowl Jigger Naik for 10. That was now 4 for Gidman on this particular day, yet another good one for the all-rounder. He couldn't get rid of O'Brien though, who now needed to play some shots with just numbers 9, 10 and Jack left to support him. It was a fine knock from the Irishman, who saw his side beyond 250 for a 2nd batting bonus point. O'Brien was by now hitting the ball to all parts. He was finally out just 12 runs short of his 2nd 100 of the summer, Taylor rapping him on the pads to end a 3-hour stay. Gidman, who always bowls a consistent line and length, then had Alex Wyatt taken behind to earn his 2nd 5-wicket haul of the season. He now also had 30 wickets, the same as Stephen Finn and Jack Brooks, until the latter added a 31st later in the day in Northampton. Gidman was left with figures of 5 for 46 here when Norwell bowled Nathan Buck for 15, as Leicestershire were dismissed for 269, leaving their bowlers 5 overs to have a go at the Gloucestershire openers. Both Michael Klinger and Chris Dent survived those, although the former was given a few tough deliveries from Buck. Gloucestershire replied with 12 without loss by the close, and that means that they'll go into the second day of this match 257 runs behind. At this early stage, it appears to be a very even contest.